Good morning, Sagittarius. How are you today? I am trying to wake up with my coffee. Mm. And I've been for a walk, so I've got loads of stuff for you today. Kind of like an overview of all the songs that I heard while I was out walking. So I think I've got the general gist of what they want to say. But before I get into that, I've got a couple of intuitive messages for you. Now, I heard a couple of words. Just random words. I got blackmail, which isn't very nice. And then I kind of questioned what that was about, and I got the word pound. Now, me with my British head, I was like, "Oh right, a pound coin, blackmail for money, perhaps." But what it could also be, I kind of almost felt corrected, and I think it could have meant pound as in the dog pound. Um, So I don't know if this is like emotional blackmail from somebody's childhood, like maybe someone's parent was like, if you don't do what you told, I'm going to take your dog to the pound, which is horrible, so horrible. Or like maybe like people are splitting up and someone's like to get revenge to hurt the person, they're like, oh, I'm going to put the dog in the pound. Like it just feels horrible. I don't know what that is, and I hope that is just. I hope I'm reading it wrong. I mean, how can you read blackmail wrong, right? Blackmail's blackmail. Um, it feels horrible. I don't like it at all. It feels like somebody's trying to hurt somebody emotionally. Um, so I'm going to move swiftly on from that because I don't like that. Bad parenting too. I hope that's not you, Sagittarius, because that is awful parenting. Like your child will hate you. Um, right, okay. I had a dream as well. I had quite a lot of dreams, quite complicated stuff going on there. But what really stood out for me, there's stuff to do with like photography and art. So I don't know if that's something for you. Almost like maybe somebody's writing a review about somebody's photography of art, if that makes any sense. Something like that something for somebody. Um, and also I got the name Selena, which I think is associated with the moon, Selena. So maybe somebody's called Selena. That is a thing. Um, I got the song I Don't Know Why I Love You, But I Do. Boo-doo, 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 doo-doo. So that's a cute one. So that's all the intuitive stuff that came through. From my walk, well, no, from as I was setting up the reading, you got Strict Machine by Goldfrapp and Wonderwall by Oasis, and also Fade Out by Radiohead. You kind of got three because I was dilly-dallying a little bit. But Fade Out by Radiohead, you had that last time as well. You're getting a lot of repeat songs, actually, Sagittarius. But the word machine stood out to me. Strict Machine, and in Fade Out, this machine will not communicate these thoughts and strain I'm under. So I feel like somebody's really kind of... I'm taking the machine to mean... it could mean electronic devices, right? Like you need to speak to someone face to face because you can't explain to them perhaps like exactly what you're going through. Like a text message, an email, it's not going to do the job. You need to actually perhaps I just heard travel. Perhaps some of you need to travel to actually speak to someone face to face and explain what's happening. Again, like I really hope nobody's a victim of emotional abuse. Um, I just heard catfishing. I don't know, catfishing. I don't think. I don't know. I don't really understand that term. I don't know if someone's a victim of some kind of emotional abuse because it's almost like when that's happening in a relationship, I think people they don't always realize it's happening for a start. And I think it can be quite hard to explain to people outside of the relationship exactly because it's like microaggressions. It's like lots of little things, and it's quite hard to say to actually explain what's going on. So if that feels like your situation, perhaps start to make a bit of a diary of all the little things, and then it helps to build up a bigger picture of what's actually happening within that relationship. That feels horrible. Wonderwall, maybe you can be the one that saves me. So maybe there's somebody outside of your relationship that you feel like you want to move to. It doesn't have to be romantic. It can be like, a friend who's going to be like your rescuer or something like this. most of you, I think, continuing from the last couple of readings, the machine, I think, is like society, the societal machine, kind of what's expected of us, the daily grind, this kind of thing. Again, this was coming through in your last reading. And I watched Taxi Driver last night as well, which feels very, very relevant, because he gets on a bit of a slippery slope. He starts in that movie. I mean, you've probably seen it by now. It's been out for years. If you haven't seen it, just a bit of a heads up that it is an older movie, and it's very, I would say it's very controversial, and there's a lot of difficult things that it deals with in there. A lot of things that perhaps wouldn't be acceptable if somebody made a movie today. So just be a bit of a heads up there. It's not a Disney princess story. It's very, very dark. So he starts off trying to do the right thing, trying to work hard, trying to have normal relationships, but he just can't access society. He's kind of a bit of an outsider in it. And gradually he really hates the city he lives in and the people in it, but gradually he kind of almost starts to replicate the things that he hates. He kind of starts to become the things he hates at one point. So it's going back to this theme that was coming through last time of that Sympathy for the Devil, which actually came back through for you, the Guns N' Roses version, Sympathy for the Devil, like understanding how people slip through the cracks in society, understanding the strains that people are under that make them act out in difficult ways. It does feel like a very Sagittarian energy. I mean, my daughter is very, very sympathetic to people. So she's a Sagittarius. So what have I got here? Let's have a look at my notes. losing track before we all go under. Taxi Driver, in that film, he does actually, at one point in the movie, when he's really at breaking point, he does try and have a conversation with, I think it's his boss or another taxi driver, and the other taxi driver's like, oh yeah, we all have bad days, kind of thing, and he's like, no, like seriously, like not doing well here, but he kind of brushes it off. So he's not able to communicate, right? I can't communicate the thoughts and strain I'm under. So perhaps it's like a case of not having anyone to talk to. Now, what's also coming through for some of you, again, I'd really, really encourage everybody to not be in unhealthy relationships. This one is going to be a controversial one. It's coming through from the perspective of the people who are in it, and it feels very much like two people who are equally obsessed with each other. It feels a bit like twin flame soulmate, okay, which can actually be very, very destructive. So maybe go and look up that if you don't know what that is. It's people who it can be a hot mess. It's not all like Romeo and Juliet, like fairy tale stuff. But it's like Sympathy for the Devil, number one crush, I will always be your soldier. It's like two people who have perhaps the same damage, the same shadow side, the same issues, reflecting to each other. So it's almost like finding someone who's the same as you, finding someone who's got the same kind of devil as you. I mean, we've all got some kind of devil side, right? I'm using devil lightly, as in the devil card in the tarot, the shadow side. It feels like somebody who's got the same, just feels like very much like two people who like are mirroring each other, equally as obsessed with each other because they've got this connection. And yeah, it's an interesting thing, and I'm not saying it's good and I'm not saying it's bad. It's probably going to be different for everybody, but I think it's important to be self-aware. Now, I think with any kind of obsession, when we get obsessed with something, quite often it can be caused by denial. So either trying to suppress something, which means it's harder to control those emotions because you're not actually dealing with them, or it's because you can't have something. It's almost like people who are on a diet, and it's like you can't eat cake, but there's a cake there, and you're like, but I really, really want the cake, and it's like, no, but you can't have the cake. So then you're like, but I really want the cake, and all you can think about then is the cake, where actually if you had a really small piece, maybe that would satisfy. that. So there could be something in that for somebody. And then you got Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd. Yeah, so interesting to see if that comes out in the reading. I don't know if that's going to apply to anyone or not. Let's go to Christmas songs and try and lighten the mood a little bit. I completely lost my brain now. Perhaps that's the thing as well about recognizing if something is healthy or unhealthy, if it's consuming you. I was getting the word consumption, which is a very Victorian term, but if it's consuming you, if it's like you're not looking after yourself properly, you're not doing the day-to-day things that you need to do because you're so obsessed with this one particular thing, I really think it's time to kind of like explore what you can do to make that situation healthier, perhaps. So there's a couple of different storylines coming through already, probably for a few different Sagittariuses. Just to kind of say, the big planets Jupiter and Saturn are moving. They've been in Capricorn for quite a long time now, which is all to do with like tough love lessons. So we've all kind of been going through some inner soul searching, maybe having a bit of a tough time, but learning lessons from it. As these two big planets move on the 17th and 19th of December into Aquarius, we should start to see new ways to communicate opening up, advances in technology, thinking out of the box. It's a very innovative sign. So things are going to feel like they're going to start to move as we go into 2021, I would say. Also on the 21st of December, it's quite an important event. These two planets actually align in the sky for the first time in 800 years in this particular position in Aquarius. So sort of a big deal actually astrologically. So watch out for that. It could be in for some big shifts globally in terms of technology, innovation, the way that we are ruled, the politics and things like this. Okay. I think 800 years ago, it was like Magna Carta type time. So again, big changes. Let's get you a randomised Christmas song. Randomised Christmas song for Sagittarius, please. What would you like Sagittarius to hear today? Oh my God, I knew it was going to be that. I don't know how I knew, but when I was like pulling it up, I was thinking, oh, Last Christmas, I wonder if that's on the playlist. Like, it's so funny. Last Christmas, I gave you my heart, and the very next day you gave it away. This year, to save me from cheer, I'll give it to someone special. Okay, so perhaps you've had a breakup and you've got someone special in mind for this Christmas. Once bitten, twice as shy. I keep my distance, but you still catch my eye. Tell me, baby, do you recognize me? Okay. A bit of George Michael there, love it. What's that? So it's from a film called Last Christmas as well, with what was the name? Slayer of Dragons, Breaker of Chains, Daenerys from Game of Thrones. Right, okay, I'm going to tune into the energies. I'm going to try and put my brain back in my head because I feel like I lost it somewhere on my walk. And then I'm going to pull you some cards. I'll be back in a moment with you, Sagittarius. We have a Bessie. We have a Bess. Hey, Bess. Sagittarius, I was listening to that song. Perhaps some of you need to think back to last Christmas and think about, were you happy or were you unhappy with the people that you were with? Did you feel like you had a really nice Christmas with people who love you, who treat you well? So it doesn't have to be like, relationships so much as, relationships, but it doesn't have to be a romantic interest. It could just be the people who you spent time with. Would you rather spend it with somebody else, perhaps? So I don't know, maybe have a think back to last Christmas and what was going on for you. What else did I want to say? I think it might be gone. Yeah, I think it might be gone. Right, Bessie, you might have to move, honey. You can stay there for a minute, but your butt's kind of in the way of my reading. So let's see what we have. What do you think, Bess? What do you think? Who do you think Sagittarius is going to get? Who do you think Saggy is going to get? Who are the main players in Saggy's reading today, please? Who do you want to talk about today in Saggy's reading? Wow, that is probably too many people. I'm going to keep the Queen of Swords in reverse. Ouchie, Queen of Swords in reverse. Yeah, you don't want to spend Christmas with her. Okay. Who else do we have here? Well, you've got... Here she is. I have been waiting for her to come out. Absolutely love her. That's Salma Hayek in, what is it? Oh, what's the name of the movie? Dead Till Dawn? Dust Till Dawn? Is it Dust Till Dawn? The vampire movie. She's so beautiful. I totally would. Death card. The death card there. Is that Donnie Darko? The full card, Tom Hanks. So quite a few players today in your reading, and the lovers on the underneath. That's what's it called now? The cowboy film, Brokeback Mountain. Sharon Stone in reverse. Ooh, ouchie. Queen of Swords in the upright is amazing. She tells you, she'll tell you the truth, even if it's going to hurt you, because she respects you. She's ow, yeah. Bess does not like the Queen of Swords in reverse. What do we think of the Queen of Swords in reverse? Not today, not today. She's. I'm going to say it. I'm going to swear warning. She's a bitch. The Queen of Swords in reverse is the bitch of the tarot. She is gossipy. She's cruel with her words. Whoa, that was a big yawn, Bess. Yeah, she's cruel with her words. She's the difference between the Queen of Swords in the upright and the Queen of Swords in reverse is that the Queen of Swords in the upright will tell you the truth because she respects you, because she knows that there's power in truth, there's power in knowledge, and by her telling you straight, that's her respecting you enough to give you the truth. She's like, you can handle the truth. The Queen of Swords in the reverse, she's hurtful on purpose, intentionally hurtful with her words. She will lie. She will hold things back from you intentionally. Doesn't communicate. Very, very cold as well. It's like put the barriers up, not talking to you. Or she can be a gossip, anything kind of like negative to do with communication. Yeah, not nice energy. We'll pull a clarifier on her in a minute. The Death card. Now, this is a character. It could be a Scorpio that you're dealing with here with the Death card. I'm not quite sure why this is here as a person. This again could be someone from the past. Last Christmas you maybe gave someone your heart and you've ended that now. Possibly. The Devil. How did I know we were going to see the Devil today? Sympathy for the Devil. I mean, come on. She's broken the chains. Can you see? She's not actually, she's wearing the chains, but she's not chained. So to me, this is coming through today as sexual liberation, embracing the shadow side and rethinking the shadow side, rethinking the things that you've been told are wrong. Could be dealing with somebody who's very, very seductive. Again, I was talking about obsession. Obsession would be attached to the Devil card. I mean, I'm obsessed with Salma Hayek in that movie. She is stunning, absolutely stunning. The Fool, Tom Hanks as Forrest Gump, leaving it all behind, going out there, exploring the world, learning life lessons and going out on a new adventure. I just saw 444 on the timestamp. You won't see it because it's I stopped and restarted, but yeah, the Fool card there. So we've got quite a few characters. This is Aries energy, this is Capricorn energy, Scorpio energy, air sign energy. The person doesn't have to be those signs, it's just the energy of the cards. It also doesn't have to be a male or a female. Just because it's Salma Hayek on here, you may be dealing with a male or a non-binary person. So take it more as the description of the character and what the cards tell us about them, rather than, oh, it's a female, oh, it's a male, gender can be switched around, but we're dealing with 4 people. So tell me, who is this Queen of Swords in reverse? Tell me about the Queen of Swords in reverse, please. Who is the Queen of Swords in reverse? Who is the Queen of Swords in reverse? What would you like to tell me about the Queen of Swords in reverse? There we go, the vision. Look us on the underlying. Okay. Okay, let's just read from the book. Could be somebody holding back communication. She doesn't have to be. In the reverse, it can mean a lot of things. It's basically not the upright. So in the upright, this would be somebody who's communicating very, very clearly, open communication, honest, upfront. In the reverse, this may be somebody who's not communicating or holding back on communication. Doesn't mean she's necessarily a bad person. Just like I think yesterday, Scorpio had, I think it was the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad person. It could have just been that that person had exited a situation. So there's a lot of different ways to read it. So let's not, sorry for calling you a bitch, Sharon. Let's see what you have to say. Why are you in reverse? It could be a number of different things. 55. Perhaps 55 is a significant number for you for some reason. The vision. My hair's in the way. Ugh. Okay. The dream, the imagined, the revealed. It is said that we are each born with a unique vision, a destiny towards which we are aimed. It's also... Sorry, I'm just realising something else about upside down cards, so we'll see if anything comes out for that. It is said... where are we? It is also said that we forget this vision the moment we are born. Thus we are sent on a lifelong journey of rediscovery. Such is the elusive nature of the vision. It slips away, yet it guides. It appears in strange dreams and surreal images, seemingly unattainable and preposterous. It's funny that I had a lot of dreams last night. Excuse me. When we are connected to the vision, we carry an inspired, enchanted aliveness that others recognise. We trust the world and its synchronicities. We walk through new doors into wondrous opportunities. We all want to be near those with vision. They emit energy more potent than any elixir. When we lose connection to the vision, life becomes dull and exhausting, lacking meaning. Bring back the mystery, bring back the dreams. Potent imagination, synchronicity, trust. Disconnected from art and dreams, listless, aimless. Go deeper. Twin Peaks by David Lynch. The Dream by Frida Kahlo. Look at art you loved when you were young. Listen to old recordings and poems. These are all ways to activate the vision. You can gauge how connected you are to your vision by how tired you are. Since the vision feeds us energy, it affects our life force and vitality. Right, I have been exhausted this last couple of days. So much so that I've not been able to do very much other than just go to bed and watch movies. So I watched 2 movies last night. I watched Taxi Driver and Almost Famous as well. I think you might be sharing a vision with someone. You might be sharing a dream with somebody. And I think there's no communication perhaps about this, which might be why she's in the reverse. Take it as it resonates, leave it if it doesn't. Could also be somebody who doesn't share your vision. Could be that you need to communicate your vision to somebody. I think, though, talking about dreams, I think this is shared dreams. Also, I'm reminded that I got the name Selena from a dream. And also, I was in kind of like an art gallery at one point, and it did talk about the art you loved as a child. So there's something to do with dreams here. It doesn't necessarily have to be literal dreams. It could be a shared vision, wanting the same thing. They're giving me, we dream the same dream, we want the same thing. Again, whoa, I was getting that quite a lot a while back and I've not had it for a while. We dream, same dream. Okay. I think she would have been a good Catwoman, wouldn't she? Selena Kyle. Right, okay. And the Lover. Right, let's go to the Death card. I need to split the deck, apparently. Why is the Death card here, please? Why is the Death card here? Very difficult energy, actually. If I'm taking these cards at face value, that's actually really quite difficult energy. But it's also, this Fool coming at the end is like leaving behind anything that was difficult and having a brand new start in life. If I was just to read the tarot cards. But I'm asking about people. So why is the Death card here, please? The Siren and the Mirror. Okay. The Death card is like death and rebirth. So I'm not sure if this is cutting out it's coming through as twin flame. This reading, I'm going to be honest. Shared vision across two people. Can be a lot of conflict at the start of the relationship. Death. You can't actually walk away from twin flame. Well, you can, but you're designed to move towards each other. So somebody could have tried to cut out this, but moving away from it causes obsession. So then you may want to go and look that up if you feel like that is your situation. I don't say it lightly, because I think they're quite rare, and I don't think every Sagittarius coming to this reading is in a twin flame relationship with somebody. I think that's I don't know, I'm getting very, very, very hot as well, which is a sign of that. So it's like the fire at my back, right? That's how I feel right now. So yeah, it could be somebody's tried to cut out. It's like doing the shadow work, cutting out anything, because these relationships, they reflect back your kind of shadow side, and that could be anything. It could be telling yourself you're worthless, or being connected to things that hold you back, because you see it in the other person. Now, like, you know, whatever this relationship is, and this was coming through in your last reading as well, Sagittarius. It's like whatever this connection is for you, you see yourself in that other person. So when you see your own faults reflected back to you, it actually teaches you more about yourself, and you can take steps then to cut out those negative cycles, those negative behaviors. So with the Devil card here and the Siren card, it could be that there's some kind of toxic behavior. Now, it could be an addiction to alcohol, or to prescription drugs, or to gambling. Sorry, I just heard porn. Whatever that addiction is, like addictive behavior, right? You can try and move away from it, but it calls you. It sucks you back. I, full honesty here, I have a difficult relationship with alcohol. I grew up in a pub. A lot of people around me drank. My family drank a lot. They still do. But I recognize that that's not healthy. So I know that that's if I feel a little bit stressed, if I feel a little bit like I just kind of want to relax, my go-to is always alcohol. But I'm aware that that doesn't actually help me. It actually hinders me, because it stops me from sorting things out that I should be sorting out, and it's really bad for your body. So I kind of limit myself now to once a week. So we all have something that's kind of our vice, and I think perhaps there's something here with this, like you're seeing that vice in somebody else. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be a siren, as in, siren, right? It could be anything. It could be anything. So it's not so much, sometimes, depending on your situation, sometimes you have to completely cut something out, which is why the Death card would be here. The Mirror is also quite a sharp shard, so it's almost like completely saying, no, I'm not having it, I'm cutting it out. It's funny that I was talking about the cake as well, saying that if you deny yourself the cake, it almost causes the obsession. So maybe the answer for some of you, and again, talk to people who are wiser than me, doctors, counsellors, the case might be to have a little bit of what's bad for you, so that you don't obsess over it. But like with me, I've limited myself to once a week, so I don't obsess over it. I can still have it. I just have to choose when I can and when I can't. So it could be something like this going on. I feel like I haven't got control over this reading. I feel like this reading's taken a bit of a different turn to what I had planned, but we'll go with it. We'll see what we get from it. 68. The Mirror. So we've got the Death card. The Death card is not literal death, not like, very rarely is it a literal death. It can mean that, but more often it means really cutting something out, death and rebirth, ending something so there's something new can begin, which is reinforced by this Fool card being here, because the Fool card comes right at the start of the tarot. When the tarot cycles again from the end to the beginning, you get the Fool card. So it's taking the lessons from a previous experience and moving on to something brand new, really putting the past behind you, dropping all the baggage. So let's see, the mirror. The reflection, the illusion, the looking glass. We look into mirrors every day without recognising them as portals into another realm. They can shatter, flatter, distort, reflect, and project an image back to us that we deem to be true. The energy of the mirror is all about self-perception. When the archetype of the mirror appears, we are in the mythic land of Narcissus, who saw himself reflected in a pool and fell in love with his own image. So compelled by his reflection, he could not turn away, a fixation that eventually led to his death. Recognise the power and danger of the mirror. It is a construct, one that may drive a shard between you and your true self. The mirror contains trickster energy. Put the phone down, stop with the comparisons, and let the mirror stand empty for a while. Rest with the one inside. What did it say? The mirror appears when we are in the mythic land of Narcissus, who saw himself reflected in a pool and fell in love with his own image. A fixation that eventually led to his death. So yeah, definite fixation here with this devil card. And you've got the death card there, so it could be a warning that whatever you're fixated on, whatever you can't, whatever the obsession is for you, yeah, this could be a proper alarm bell for you, I'm afraid. Witnessing the deeper self, pure awareness. When dark, narcissism, comparison, harsh edges. Go deeper. Yayoi Katsuma's Infinity Mirror Reams. I'll show you that one. For further reflection, read the poem I Am Not I by Juan Jimenez and Yoko Ono's Mirror Piece in Grapefruit. Again, I'm going to show you that one because butchering names there. And speak to yourself gently and kindly in the mirror. It will feel awkward at first, but it's a sure way to become friends with yourself. So the siren is here as well. 18. I mean, with this, it's looking like it's a certain thing, right? The temptress, the seducer, the femme fatale. The siren calls and the world spins. What we thought we wanted pales in comparison to the sweet allure of her song. We find ourselves lost in a spell of desire and longing, perhaps even lust. Whether the thing calling to us is ultimately good or bad is somewhat irrelevant. It's the journey that matters. And the work of the siren is to take us on a deep psychic descent. Following her song, we go down, 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 to a place where lessons are learned and courage must be rallied to find our way back to dry land. Try as we might, resisting the call may not even be an option, unless, like Odysseus, we bind our hands to the mast of our ship. It's likely, though, that falling for her call is the only way we may come to live more fully on the surface. It's likely, though, that falling for her call is the only way we will come to live more fully on the surface. So it's being the mirror card, I would say, is saying to do that self-reflection, to really take a hard look at yourself in the mirror and find out what is at the core of whatever this desire is for you. Why it's really coming through as like a little bit of what you like is good for you, a little bit of like that devil is good for you, embracing the shadow side and not denying it, because I think denying it causes more obsession. They just gave me Ever Dance in the Devil in the pale moonlight. Ever Dance in the Devil with the pale moonlight. I can't even say it. So from the end of the original Batman movie, the Joker says it. Maybe you need to dance with the devil just a little bit. I don't want to give you bad advice. We're going to keep pulling cards and see what they say. When light, awaken sensuality, absorption, arousal. So it's saying that arousal is in the light energy. But when dark, wickedness, adultery, wreckage, betrayal, instability. Go deeper. J.W. Waterhouse's Nymph Paintings, Lana Del Rey's album Ultraviolence. I've been getting a lot of Lana Del Rey. Embodying the siren archetype requires that we explore things that are taboo. The siren laughs at conventions and constraints. She eats the rules. Well, oh, interesting. That is an interesting turn. Okay, the devil energy is all to do with conventions and constraints, right? Conventions and constraints is represented by the devil energy. So it can be like a controlling boss, a controlling partner, anyone who's controlling, doesn't give you freedom. It can be society being too restrictive and not giving you, it's basically restricting freedom in whatever way that means. So it's interesting that here the siren is coming through as almost positive now. The siren laughs at conventions and constraints. She eats the rules. That can be liberating. So I'm not quite sure. I'm not telling you what to do here. I think you have to look at your own situation and make your own choices. But do that self-reflection work. Really take yourself into the third person and ask why you're feeling the things that you're feeling. It's up to you to decide what you want to do. You know, you have that freedom of choice, that autonomy. That is ultimately very, very light. So let's keep pulling cards, I think. Okay. The devil, right. Go on then. Tell me why the devil is here. Sympathy for the devil, right? Is that the cave? God's sake, you're getting that song again by Mumford & Sons. The Cave. Keeps coming through. It's definitely something for somebody. The comic and the cave. This comic card really... this is my shadow side, right? I can't even pick it up right now. Look at its eyes. It's wearing a mask. It's not really happy. Not really happy. There's a darkness behind this comic. It's like a lot of comedians have actually have depression. It's kind of a stereotype, an archetype of comedians. It plays out again and again. You see it all the time. You can look at who's the Scottish, his name's escaping my head. I can see his face, and then a Scottish actor, no, Scottish comedian. Oh no, I really can't think of his name, and that's going to drive me mad. I know that he spoke about depression, Russell Brand. But I think there's something there with being able to look at the darkness and make light of it. It's funny as well, that Almost Famous film is coming to mind. There's a girl in it, Penny Lane she's called in it, and she kind of gets her heart broken at one point, but she smiles and laughs and makes a joke about it. Facing darkness and choosing light is the what is it? It's a quote from Kim Krans. Facing darkness and choosing light is like the greatest thing of all, something like that. Okay, let's read the cave. This is a really interesting reading, Sagittarius. The dark, the portal, the interior. Those who are fortunate... Put my teeth back in. Those who are... No, I can't do it. Do you know why? Because I'm thinking about this card, so I need to show you this. There's like caves and portals on this. It's actually like the mountain card, but you can kind of see there's like a cave there, kind of little portal there. It's like it's almost like that's the light that's shining there right inside the cave. See, she's got a mouth covered, or he's got his mouth covered. So again, there's this inability to speak here. It's like someone's being silenced. That's what I'm getting from this now. Someone is absolutely being silenced. Okay. Right. I'm going to have a bit of my coffee and then I'm going to try and talk. Okay. Those who are fortunate enough to find and enter the cave are forever changed. It is a place of potent power, acting both as a portal to another realm and a space for sacred ritual and initiation. The cave is a place to return for meaningful retreat, where one can see the true self in the darkness, right? The true self. In esoteric teachings, the cave is known to reside in the centre of the heart. Within its walls, the whispers of compassion and self-understanding can be heard. Absolutely, that's embracing that shadow energy. That's, again, a common theme that's been coming through in your readings. Yet because of its mystery and power, many of us fear the cave and never try to find it. We busy ourselves in the bright lights of the city, while the cavernous and dimly lit chamber call out to us in the night. Where is your cave? You already know. Return to it and tend the fire. When light, the sacred centre within. When dark, withdrawal, isolation and hiding. Go deeper. Lascau's The Cave of Crystals and the Blue Grotto. Show you that one. Envision yourself as an old sage in a cave. What amenities do you need? What draws you even closer to the cave within the cave? The darker self, the deeper self, right? Slowly and steadily, crystals of enormous magnitude grow within the dark confines of the caves. Let the cave teach you patience. I want to play Minecraft now. Right, okay. So with this person not being able to speak, okay, being silenced, and the cave representing shadow energy, and the comic putting on a mask and hiding the darkness, this is coming to me again as, I really feel like there's two people here. I don't know why it's coming through as four people. Maybe it's light side and shadow side, right? Maybe light side is not being able to speak. It's not coming to, it's just, it's coming through as an overall reading rather than specific people, but this is like, you're always going to carry that with you. We all have a shadow side and we can't always deny it. We can work on it, we can work with it, we can turn dark energy into light energy, because we can, it's sort of like if you look at anger, if somebody makes us angry, we could strike out at that person, but that's very negative. But what we could also do with that anger is use it as fuel to make ourselves, we could pour it into something like work, or a creative project, or a drive and ambition to do better. So it's not so much about the feeling as it is about how you process the feeling, I think, because everybody's made up of light and dark. We all have yin and yang energy within us, and I think definitely suppressing it makes it worse. Looking at it and working with it is much more productive, I feel. So this feels to me like whatever your siren is, whatever your desire is, whatever that shadow energy is, that you, on the surface, society says is wrong, the machine says is wrong. It's like, well, how do you look at it and look at yourself in the mirror, recognize it, access it, and work with it in a way that's healthy, I think is what it's saying here, rather than wearing a mask all the time. Okay, let's read the comic. The unsaid, the things that you can't say. It's funny that you were getting that thing through about society. This machine will not communicate the thoughts and strain I'm under, because society perhaps wouldn't understand, because they might have a different shadow energy to you. They just see your shadow energy is wrong. Where I think perhaps you've met somebody who has the same shadow energy, and it's like that thing again about, if you can love that in them, then you can love it in yourself as well. So maybe like watching how other people handle that shadow side. Something like this. Gosh, she's just so beautiful. Like, I can't take my eyes off her. She's definitely a welcome part of my shadow side, I would say. The Joker, the Clown, the Fool. The comic carries a remedy for all that ails this world. Amid the deepest pain and suffering, there's always the potential to lift up and out of the darkness through laughter. Though dismissed by some as lowbrow or unsophisticated, this archetype actually has a highly advanced mind. Some may use the word genius, as humour requires one to see the situation from afar rather than to be swept away by the drama. The comic sees and accepts the messiness of life, using it as a material to be mixed and shaped into a potion to soothe the stressed and serious mind. There you go. So whoever the person is, this machine won't communicate the thoughts and strain I'm under. Here's this comic who can soothe the stressed and serious mind. They literally lighten us up. Thus, within the comic is usually the sage or the magician, working healing magic upon any audience who will lend an ear. The comic may be the archetype that heals the deep division in our world, one pun at a time. I'm just going to check. I'm due a delivery in 1 second. No, not for me, not yet, but I've opened the window, so I'm not going to die from this heat from Salma Hayek right now. I would say that I think most people who watch that scene in that movie will have that heat inside them awakened by that. It's designed to be very sexually alluring. And I think society, perhaps, especially if you go back, a few decades, perhaps, me saying as a female, going, "Oh my gosh, she's so sexy," that wouldn't have been socially acceptable. But it's the people who break the chains, right? It's the people who have gone before us, who have forged, like walked through fire, right? Walked through fire, so that I'm able today, as a YouTuber on the internet, to be like, I acknowledge that she is bloody gorgeous in that scene and I want to be her. Yeah, that's there's something to that in this reading today, and I can joke about it. I can be like, I'm making jokes about it, so I'm not like I'm using myself here as an example. I mean, it could be anything for you, but it's like seeing that aspect of myself and not suppressing it, making jokes about it, lightening the mood. And that's how you break the chains. That's how you break the chains of society that bind us and stop us from living healthy lives, because they teach us that so much is wrong when it's just normal feelings, right? And it's healthy. I think if you went to, whatever your religion is, I think if you went to any priest and said, any priest worth the money, or, any religious leader worth the money, and said, look, I'm feeling these feelings, I don't think they would ever say, I mean, they might do, I don't know, but I don't think it's so much that it's wrong to feel things. I think it's what you do with those feelings. And I think they would probably encourage you to process things in a healthy way, rather than, I mean, I don't know, maybe they would teach you to suppress it, but I don't think that would help, to be honest. I think my personal opinion would be that would be bad advice. I think it's better to look in the mirror, to accept that thing about yourself, and to channel it into something that's healthier, perhaps. But I like this thing about breaking the chains with this card. I could just keep picking it up. I've been waiting for this card to come out because I love her. Yeah, breaking the chains, walking through fire so others can follow you, because then the path's clear for the next person who comes along. They can run freely because somebody here has done that work, that hard work ahead of us. And I think comedians as well, they do break the chains a lot. They do by saying things that are really quite controversial a lot of the time, but in the comedy context, it allows us to, it's a really healthy way of looking at our shadow sides, of the things that shouldn't be said, but by, dealing it in a very healthy way, because it allows us to be quite cathartic with those things. So just trying to think of an example. I mean, Russell Brand, I've read his bookie book. He makes a lot of jokes about his depression, his mental health issues, his drug use, his sexcapades, in a very, very comedic way, where actually the content of the book is very, very dark. He's processing through comedy. Really interesting, actually. I'm liking this reading. It's a very healthy reading, considering you've got the Death card and the Devil card in the centre there. Right, let's go for the Fool. What does the Fool want to tell us, please? What does the Fool want to tell us? Sorry, for some... Right, I know a lot of stuff came out there. It's because I got distracted. We're going to go again with that. They're drawing my attention to the dog. Somebody may have a dog like that. Or there's something to the dog. It's funny, again, I was talking about the pound. So they're trying to give me something. I'm not quite getting it. Okay, let's keep going. Oh, it's that card that wants to come out. Boop. Is it 2 cards? It is 2 cards. This is going to be a long reading again, isn't it? The Temple and the Prayer. There we go. So we've made it out of devil territory, and now we're into high vibrational energy because we're processing, right? Because we're looking at the shadow side, we're embracing it, we're doing the cathartic stuff. And now we're reaching the temple and the prayer. So back into high vibrational energy, the creator. Underlying there, I like that card. That's the creator is like actually a really good match with the Fool card. The one is underneath that. Really, really good energy, the Fool card and the creator card, because the creator card talks about making something out of nothing, and the Fool card is like leaving with nothing but like a knapsack, really being quite free, unburdened by baggage. This feels to me like a new start for somebody, especially with the Death card there. It's like somebody cutting something out, walking away from something, only taking what they need, only taking what's essential, right? Like passport, and then knowing that they can build back up again, they can create something out of nothing. This is like this person turns the empty room into a Garden of Eden kind of thing. So the Fool card also talks about trusting fate, taking a leap of faith, trusting that the universe is going to catch you if you fall. It does feel like just kind of warn those of you who aren't into religion. I mean, there's a lot of religion in this reading, I feel. But this is almost like... I'm not quite sure. Sorry, I don't want to say the wrong thing. Just noticing to get this kind of triangle here. It's like this person's on the temple path, right? The kind of triangle here and the triangle here. It's like this person's running along the temple path. So perhaps they've found some kind of connection to spirit, some kind of... let's just read it. Again, I am not particularly religious, or I never have been particularly religious. I think I'm just kind of... I don't know. So I say that a lot. I don't know. I know it's annoying. I'm sorry. Like half finished thoughts, but I get a lot of half finished thoughts with this. It's like I'm being led somewhere, but I don't quite see. Maybe this is it. I'm being led somewhere, but I don't quite see the end of the tunnel. Perhaps I just have to keep taking one step at a time, and trusting that the earth is going to catch me if I fall. That's an interesting thing through yoga, actually. Perhaps somebody needs to do yoga. That's almost like the I don't know. I'm not going to try and say yoga terms. Prayer hands. So I'll do yoga with Adrian. I don't know how to pronounce the name. Adrian, that's it. I do yoga with Adrian. It's on YouTube. It's really good if you want to get into yoga at home. She's very, very likable. Definitely has a bit of that comic in her. And she talks about trusting that the earth is going to catch you. So if you're doing something like a yoga pose and you feel a bit wobbly, you feel a bit unstable, you haven't quite got your balance, she's like, you'll be okay. The earth is there to catch you if you fall, and you can get back up again. So there's something to that with this. Perhaps you do just need to go and do some yoga. Right. The sanctuary, the shrine, the altar. When we think of the temple, I mean, it could be your body, right? When we think of the temple, we often envision an archetypal structure in a far-off land. Sorry, if for those of you that this is some kind of unhealthy addiction, food addiction, alcohol addiction, some kind of, I'm going to say prescription drug misuse, whatever that is. If you're doing something that's unhealthy, smoking, this could be for you. Treat your body like a temple. Cut the things out that are addictive, and go for things. As I'm talking about cutting things out, my video cut out. When we think of the temple, we often envision an architectural structure in a far-off land. We are quick to distance ourselves from the sacred. There you go, for those of you that aren't into religion. We are quick to distance ourselves from the sacred, assuming we must expend much effort in order to arrive there. Yet the temple is a universal and omnipresent energy, accessible in the highest and lowest, richest and poorest of places. Visiting the temple might be as simple as stepping into the dappled light of the forest, slowly and sensuously kissing a lover, or closing your eyes to travel inward. This card is a call to re-examine what you pay homage to and what you reject. For those of you who are on the cusp of Sagittarius and Scorpio, we're in Sagittarius season now, so happy birthday, Sagittarius. But for those of you that are on the cusp, the border of Scorpio Sagittarius, maybe you might want to go and look at that reading as well, because that talks about love as religion, worshipping love, and that's how you access religion. So if that sounds like you, go and watch that Scorpio reading. What do you spend your time worshipping? Your phone, money, material goods? What barriers do you draw between yourself and the sacred? Perhaps there is room on your altar for something new. Full card is definitely about something new, something surprising. Offer it to the heavens. When light, reverence for all, life is sanctuary. When dark, idolatry, cults, strict spirituality. So and again, I'm going to say something slightly controversial now, but the devil card, especially if it comes out with the Hierophant card, can actually mean very, very strict social structures, strict religion that does not allow freedom, which is interesting because it's almost like, I would say, a corruption of what should be healthy and pure. And I don't know. I think whatever the universe is, whatever God is, I think humans have a tendency to corrupt whatever it is that they are trying to teach us. So I don't know. Sometimes I think the social structures, the scripture that can be built around religions, sometimes I think can start to become damaging, because I think a pure connection to God or the universe, whatever you want to call it, spirituality, is much more authentic than something that's been filtered through a lot of other humans, because humans aren't gods. Humans are fallible. So I don't know, take it or leave it. If it's not your thing, whatever. Let's just all respect each other, okay? Let's all just respect each other's beliefs. Right. Reverence for all. When light, reverence for all, life is sanctuary. When dark, idolatry, cults, and strict spirituality. Go deeper. Now is the time, by Hafez. Though indeed the temple travels with you, this card is interwoven with the pilgrim archetype. If you've been longing for a spiritual journey, book your tickets. The ancient yogis saw the body itself as the temple, every function and feature of it as an expression of divinity. Build a shrine with found materials and don't spend any money, only time. That sounds like a cute thing to do. There's prayer. I wouldn't say it's an altar, but I've got my tarot cards and joss sticks and things in one place. Just kind of like the things I use. It's on top of a surface here next to me. But I do have things that I collect, like my crow feather, things like that up there. So it's not an intentional altar. I don't pray at it, but it's, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know anything. Don't trust me. I'm just the messenger. I'm just reading the cards, right? I am not a yogi. I don't have all the answers. Don't use your own initiative. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. I'm just here to help you think, okay? I'm just here to help you question, here to help you look at yourself in the mirror, to figure out your own truth and your own soul. Don't take my word as gospel. Like, I am just a human. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, genuinely, I feel like I'm just here to ask questions, to make you think, to give you philosophical stuff to digest, and you go away and find your own truth and your own answers. And I think that's all that tarot does at the end of the day. Tarot for me is just literally a mirror, just makes you think about things. Allows yourself to step out of the ego, the first person who's like in the woods, and allows you to step into the third person and see the situation from a higher perspective, to see the trees, to see the whole of the woods, and see yourself as a small player on that chessboard. There you go. I like No responsibility here. It's all in your interpretation at the end of the day. The prayer, the worship, the reverence, the homage. What is prayer? When are we in a state of prayer and when are we not? To whom or what do we pray? Okay, both saying the same thing here. That's not coincidence. Okay, you see me shuffle, you see how the cards come out. Those two cards together, both talking about what are you worshipping and why. Are you worshipping the right things? Definitely worship your own body and look after your own body. I think that's definitely a top tip for everybody, right? When are we in a state of prayer and when are we not? To whom or what do we pray? Archetypally, the practice of prayer has been with us since the dawn of time as a remedy from the omnipresent self-centered thinking that spins us towards illusion. Prayer leads us beyond our ego. I just said that. As we move from our little story to the big one. Some say we are in a state of prayer anytime we are not the centre of our own thoughts. Others say prayer is a natural result of gratitude. Perhaps it is simply surrender or service. Whatever prayer is for you, this card reminds us of its importance. Get quiet, low, humble and soft. Bow and touch the ground as your heart lifts to the sky. Though it may be uncomfortable, it is time. Nothing else will do. When light, offering to be of service, asking for guidance. When dark, expecting results and self-aggrandizement. Go deeper, ask to be of service. Every song, kiss, breath, word can become a prayer. It is a feeling, not an action. Consider the ancient mantra, Ong Namo Guru Dev Namo. I bow to the creative consciousness within, I bow to the teacher within. You're getting two things again about yoga here, so perhaps that literally you need to go and look up yoga with Adrian. Experiment with the art of bowing down. Nearly all spiritual traditions make a practice of prostration. So, definitely feels a bit like being humble, right? Being humble. That's all. That's all it wants to say. That's all I've got to say. Right, I'm going to quickly pull some cards and we'll see what we get. So I'm just going to jump through each deck and then we'll look at them all together afterwards. So tell me more about the Queen of Swords, please. Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords. The Vision. Queen of Swords and the Vision. Okay, Eight of Pentacles in reverse. Somebody's not putting work into something anymore. The Death card, the Mirror and the Siren. The Death card, the Mirror and the Siren. Judgment. Yeah, this is death and rebirth. Judgment is literally the death and rebirth card. Rising again, rising from the ashes, phoenix energy. I think something's ended for somebody. Somebody's cut something out and they are being rebirthed anew. And it's interesting as well, just to kind of show you the similarity of the bird's arms and Salma Hayek's arms outstretched here. It feels like it's a rebirth in how you deal with your own sexuality and your sexual desires, or a rebirth. I feel like it's like she's cut the chains, right? That's the rebirth. It feels like sexual liberation or embracing the dark side, not being controlled anymore, in a healthy way. Maybe it's like following life path. I don't know. It's going to be different for everybody. The Devil card here. The Devil card comes with the Fool. Same energy. Yeah, total restart here. Breaking the chains. And didn't I say about... yeah, I did. The song that came through for you had the actress from Game of Thrones, and I was saying, Khaleesi, breaker of chains. Hear the confirmation there from the crow. Breaker of chains, yeah. And then it's... The Seven of Cups is about making a choice. It can be called about being a bit overwhelmed, especially in the reverse, being a bit overwhelmed by choice. But this is like the Fool card has a lot of choices. When you close something out, a lot of new doors open. It's like I'm ready for a new start. Which start am I going to choose? But it's interesting that there's one here. All these are facing the moon, and this one cup on this card is facing the sun. So I think you already know where you're heading, or somebody does. I know, Crow, right? Yeah, Ascension. This is an Ascension card for me. Oh my God, spiritual ascension. Somebody's ascending. Somebody's going through spiritual ascension. Getting a higher level spiritually. Like, there's the Fool card with the Temple and the Prayer, and then you've got the Nine of Wands and the Hierophant. This really is spiritual ascension. Unlocking a key, like a key to unlock a new sense of spirituality or a new level in spirituality, whatever that means to you, like literally whatever that means to you. Google spiritual ascension. Unbelievable. This reading is so cool. Daughter of Cups there on the underlying. Rainbow energy. Healing. Look, you've got rainbows and rainbows. Like healing, hope. It's just beautiful. Right, tell me about why is the Eight of Pentacles? Oh my goodness. Tower and Justice. Yeah, somebody's walked away from something. The Tower, that is a shock. That is like a surprise. Information coming in, but it shakes your foundations. With Justice, Justice is could be karmic justice. Again, Scorpionic energy here. Scorpionic energy here. This is Libran energy. The Justice card could be like it could be some kind of shock in terms of contract. Perhaps a contract has ended, so you're not putting any work into something anymore. It could be divorce. This represents court systems, contracts. It also represents balancing out a situation. But here we've got it's almost like Mulan, right? It's like, when will my reflection show who I am inside? Because somebody hasn't been living authentically. So now they've got this vision and they've not put in work into something, and there's been something here to do with law and order, possibly contracts, legal systems. There's been some kind of shock revelation there. Okay, I feel like that's somebody cutting something out, whether that's work or a previous relationship. Last Christmas I gave you my heart, the very next day you threw it away. And then the Death card, yeah, this is totally something being cut out there, which leads into this Mirror and Siren energy. So tell me more about the Mirror and Siren energy in Judgment. Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles, this is interesting to have the Siren with the Queen of Pentacles. I'm going to get a clarifier on that one. Can I get a clarifier? Why is the Queen of Pentacles here, please? Four of Cups and Five of Cups. So somebody here, the Queen of Pentacles can be a boss or a wife. There's somebody here who is turning their back on, they're not interested anymore in an offer from somebody. Could be somebody's coming forward in an apology, a love offer. This is like, I'm not interested in that anymore. I'm done. But the universe is bringing in this new cup, which is bigger and better than all the other cups. And it's got these gorgeous rainbow colours again up here. So there's something new coming in here. Somebody's done with something, absolutely cutting something out, done with it. And then the universe is like rewarding them with this divine connection that's coming in. But they're not seeing it yet. They've got the back turned to it. They're still facing back towards this Queen of Pentacles. So it could be the Queen of Pentacles is doing this, or somebody has the Justice next to the Queen of Pentacles in the Tower very much says a divorce to me. The Five of Cups in reverse is no longer crying over spilt milk. This is it's like crying over things that didn't work out, crying over past connections, emotional connections that didn't work out, and being too busy lamenting it to not see that beautiful cup that the universe is trying to give you, right? In the reverse, this is telling me somebody's getting over it. Somebody is absolutely getting over something because they probably found something new to look at. I'm going to have to sell my hair out now. The Devil, the Cave, the Comic, the Fool, and the... Tell me about the Seven of Cups. Why is the Seven of Cups here, please, with the Devil? Seven of Cups with the Devil. They're giving me Indiana Jones. I swear Scorpio got Indiana Jones as well yesterday. They're giving me choose wisely. You have chosen wisely. It's like, sorry to use more religious terminology, but there's only one holy grail for you. There's a lot of options. There's a lot of, perhaps you've got a lot of choice in love, a lot of people who are interested in you. Maybe you're Selma Hayek, right? Really, really gorgeous, and you've got a lot of choice, but you need to choose wisely because there's only one cup that leads to your happiness. Okay, in that case, tell me about the comic. Why is the comic here? Why is the comic here? Whoa. A lot of energy here with this Knight of Swords card. Again, could definitely be dealing with an air sign. You've got air sign, air sign, air sign. The Knight of Swords takes action though, swift action. They are coming in to communicate something, coming in to deliver some news. You can also see this crow. They feel like they're divinely led, like the crow represents kind of the Hierophant card for me today. Yeah, feeling very much divinely led, divinely guided, following some kind of intuition, some kind of higher knowledge, trusting the gut perhaps, getting clarity in a situation, and like they are running, they're getting on that motorbike, they are going. There's a lot of action, a lot of energies to this card. Okay, tell me whatever you want to tell me about the Fool. Oh my god, that's too much. I'm going to pick that one because it fell into my hand. The Knight of Wands, yeah, huge. The Knight of Swords and the Knight of Wands, this is somebody coming forward with a huge amount of passion. These two knights, these are the fastest energies in the tarot, along with the Chariot card. It's like, and the motorbike actually, and the horse, they both represent the Chariot card for me on these cards. Very, very fast action, rapid communication, very passionate, really somebody absolutely in that Fool energy, running. Like, they're giving me two songs. They're giving me running just as fast as we can, holding on to one another's hand. Tiffany's that. And I'm gonna run to you, and when the feeling's right, I'm gonna run all night, I'm gonna run to you. Strength card on the bottom. Right, just shuffling there. A lot of cards came out there. Oh, I can't deal with all that. Somebody moving forwards, leaving choppy waters behind, moving to calmer waters, following their hopes, their dreams, their wishes, communicating it. This is very much this energy, fast action communication. About the Ten of Pentacles, they want something solid, they want something that can grow. Two of Cups, oh my god, the counterpart energy, soulmate energy, two people who see eye to eye, they get on really well together. Healing energy, sharing emotions. The Eight of Cups, walking away from something because it doesn't serve you emotionally anymore. Ace of Wands, a brand new passionate start. King of Pentacles, I'm sorry, it's Daddy. It's Daddy. This is somebody who's got a solid offer, very grounded, very stable, very nurturing, solid, dependable. Four of Pentacles, somebody's a bit blocked though, or clinging on to something. Nine of Swords, which can cause anxiety, conflicts. Somebody's scared of letting something go. So a huge amount of good energy here. Just know that this could be a hurdle. Somebody could be really, really scared of letting go of something, which is causing them quite a lot of mental anxiety. So just be aware that that's in the underlying there. Right, okay, goodness. Six of Cups in the bottom there, that's nostalgia for the past. But it's also equality in relationships. Anything else you want to tell us from this deck? Anything else you want to tell us from this deck, please? We're running out of time now. Anything else you want to tell us from this deck? Thank you. Five. Oh, that's competitiveness. Can be arguments. Competition. Perhaps somebody has a lot of competition. 10 of inspiration now. You've got a 5 and a 10. 5s are about change, 10s are about endings. This is somebody ready to put down the burdens, I think. Where's the guidebook for that one? 10 of inspiration. God, this reading is so cool. I hope it works out for you, Sag. Again, like, I'm just a tarot card reader. I'm just communicating what the cards want to say, and it's just a general reading. So trust your gut, trust your intuition, trust your knowledge of your own situation. Don't do anything rash just because of me here today. Use this as one part of the jigsaw puzzle of your life, okay? Really, like, have a good think before you do anything rash. 10 of inspiration. Responsibilities and burdens, taking on too much, the heaviness of promises, seeking other paths that offer help and guidance, systemizing and prioritizing. Prompt, the nourishment of accepting. The 10 of inspiration knows that she has to bring supplies of inspiration to the masses, but there are so many and she is just one. And so she finds help along the way, gifting life and purpose to the animals and the plants, to the sunrises and the sunsets, and to all those who help her. She adds beauty everywhere, enlisting and accepting help as a way to distribute these catalysts of joy to those who need it. She knows that she could not possibly take it all on, all by herself, each and every day. She knows this struggle intimately, the burden of carrying too many responsibilities, and yet she shares her message of being open to help. Ask for help when you need it. Prioritize and simplify. Do not ask the impossible of your energy reserves or your time, as your vitality is essential to your well-being. Take the steady path of joy towards your final destination. You are so close. Unforced, I shoulder this weight alone. Unattended, I watch these gardens unshown. Strapped, I wonder the maybes unbeen. Impossibly burdened, I struggle unseen. Determined a coming success, my road. Acceptance, a boundary of love, unload. I hope that was helpful to somebody there. Looks like I'm using this deck. I have actually, the delivery that oh my god, look at what's on the bottom. The delivery that I'm waiting for today is some new tarot cards. I was really strongly drawn to this pack yesterday, so I did pull a few cards for myself from it last night. But I was getting, because sometimes I hear things like how I was hearing Selena. Sometimes I hear things, and I was hearing Colette Baron Reid in my head, like they were going Colette Baron Reid, Colette Baron Reid, and I could sort of see a tarot pack by her. I could see a tarot pack, and I was getting Colette Baron Reid, and I was like, is that pack that I'm seeing even by her? So I went and looked it up, and it was, and I was like torn between two packs. I didn't know which one they wanted me to get, so I got both. I bought new tarot packs, but I feel like it's for somebody. And sometimes when this happens, it's like when it arrives, it's for that reading. So it said it's coming today, which would mean it's for Capricorn's reading. I was wondering, is it going to be for you or is it going to be for Capricorn, depending on what time of the day it came at? So assuming it comes today, it looks like Capricorn are getting some kind of special reading with these new decks that they demanded I buy, quite frankly. I tripped and fell and bought some new tarot decks, but I was very much guided to do it. Like I was hearing Colette Baron Reid and seeing these packs, and I was like, I don't even know if they're by her, and they were, so clearly they wanted me to get them. But do you know what? No, I think I need to use that deck. Change of plan. What do you want to tell Sagittarius, please, today? What do you want to tell Sagittarius? Can I get an oracle message, please, for Sagittarius? Can I get an oracle message, please, for Sagittarius? Last chance for an oracle message for Sagittarius. Whoa. Last chance for an oracle message for Sagittarius now. Can you give me a relationship message, please, for Sagittarius? A relationship message for Sagittarius, please. A relationship message. Thank you for Sagittarius. Treasure Island. That's one of the ones that came up for me yesterday. And Serendipity. Interesting. I can't remember. I don't think it was a relationship message. I think it was for you, actually, because I did another reading. It didn't come back out. Can you get me a protection message for Sagittarius? A protection message, please, for Sagittarius. Thank you. Mending into the sea. Okay, interesting. You've got two that are to do with oceans there. Poised. Again, that came out yesterday. As a protection message. That is like, don't move just yet. Be ready, but don't move just yet. So 9 is the relationship message. Treasure Island. Okay, maybe you need to go and read, who is it? Robert Louis Stevenson? Your relationship is a treasure, providing even more than you need, but you may not see that right now. No matter how long you've been together, you and your partner are always discovering hidden gems about yourself and each other. Now is a time of discovery. It's as if everything is in sync and everything is new again. Romance blooms and love is in the air. You can be assured that this partnership will bring you great gifts and valuable lessons. Keep your heart open. The message of this card is to celebrate love and what it teaches you. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It's so nice. Love that message for you, Sagittarius. All right, 52. So you've got 2 protection messages. 52. Mending. Heartbreak is a strange healer of souls. Our grief strips away our masks and loosens our tight hold on our separateness, where we view ourselves as I and the world as it. Loss allows us to see ourselves as part of a larger scheme. Isn't that the message that was coming through with some of those cards? Letting go of the ego and seeing the bigger picture. Spiritual ascension, being part of something greater than yourself. opening us up to sympathy, empathy, and deep dependence on others in the moment when we can't hold ourselves together. Okay, again, this message that came through with this 10 of inspiration, like, don't take all the burdens on yourself. Use the people around you who are there to help you, or who are able to help you. Ask for help if you need it. Again, that taxi driver scene where he can't talk about everything that he's going through. Like, I feel like, yeah, definitely reach out for the people around you who accept you for who you are. And it leads us to become one with the greater whole again. Pain and suffering is part of life. Sorry, if you can't speak to anyone that you know, maybe go to like advice lines, like online charity advice lines. In the UK, we have something called the Samaritans that can help with like mental health issues. It's just people, volunteers who are there to talk. Sometimes it can help to open up to strangers. Otherwise, some of you, depending on your religious beliefs, you may want to turn things over to the universe, to God, to whatever you connect with spiritually. You may want to literally hand your problems over to the universe. Jesus, take the wheel, right? Could be something there for somebody. Again, like, everyone's welcome here. I don't have any one particular belief system. I kind of believe in everything and nothing all at the same time, because Anami Mundi, right? Pain and suffering is part of life, and none of us can be immune to it. Can you view this loss, this pain, this dissonance as a way back to source? Oh my God. Let your sorrow break your heart wide open. You will never be left behind. You are loved, now more than ever, by Spirit, who does not want you to feel alone. One day you will look back and know this truth. Oh my God. Like, cutting something out, as I said, it could be like somebody literally getting a divorce down here, possibly one of you, cutting something out, ending something, heartbreak over it, right? But then this healing energy, working with your desires to move you forward, to find this spiritual ascension, like you're mending yourself. I just want to kind of give you that one, because that felt like a very, very powerful message. So you may want to reread that one in your own time, without the interruptions, right? I'm going to stop and restart, and we'll read to the sea. Okay. So this is another protection message you've got here. Again, you've got these two things about, it can be emotions. The sea and water can represent emotions, but it's coming through quite strongly. Maybe you need to reconnect with your emotions. When external conditions appear to block every attempt to move forward, there is no hidden message for you to decipher. Like the ocean, the tides of experience ebb and flow. You are in a natural cycle, so know that the things will flow again in due course. There is no cause for alarm. Stop resisting and fighting against the situation and learn to flow, even when the tide is going out. Relax and trust in the abundance that will soon be within your reach again. An ancient mariner's saying applies to you now. When fishermen cannot go to sea, they stay at home and repair their nets. Okay, so perhaps, I mean, I think a lot of places are going back into lockdown. I think I heard Eric Realm was saying that California is back in lockdown now. So it could be that wherever you are in the world, it could be that you do feel the need to move. You do feel like the need to step into this full energy, right? Trusting the universe, going out on some kind of new journey, new cycle. Perhaps you literally want to travel across water to see somebody. Perhaps it's like you want to go and see your parents at Christmas, but they're across water from you. It involves travel, movement, and you can't do that right now. So when you can't take the action, when you can't move forward, sit and stay and do that soul work, do that shadow work. Release the things emotionally that you need to release, so that when the time comes to move forward, you can do it feeling very, very fresh and unburdened. Sag, that was a very, very cool reading. It felt very spiritual. Again, Sagittarius, you are actually a very spiritual sign, no matter what you believe in. You do have, you are a sign that trusts your intuition, trusts your gut, believes in the greater good. really loved that reading. Very, very cool. And like I say, if you have got Sagittarius, Scorpio placements, or you're on the cusp there, maybe do go and, or you're dealing with a Scorpio perhaps, maybe do go and watch that reading as well, because it does feel like it was relevant. Love it. Love is my religion. Yes, Tommy, I know food is your religion, right? So right, I'm gonna leave it there. Best of luck with that. An amazing reading. Very cool. I feel like I am not worthy. I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy. Like where you're going, like where you're going is so high. Right, okay. I mean, not literally, but right, okay. I'm going. Sagittarius, brilliant reading. Thank you so much for that. Love you so much. And take care. And I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.